Thank you, Mr. Speaker. COVID-19 originated in the Communist Chinese Party's Wuhan bioweapons lab and forces Americans into a damned if you do, damned if you don't choice. You can refuse to take the COVID-19 vaccine and face the risk of death and debilitating injury when you catch COVID-19, or you can take the COVID-19 vaccine and face the risk of death or debilitating injury from the vaccine's side effects, as described in a letter by Mary Constance Siebert, who honorably served America in the United States Navy. Ms. Siebert states, and I quote, "Dear Congressman Mo Brooks, this is my explanation and statement regarding the impact of the vaccine that was being given as a result of extreme pressure, but now is mandated by the armed forces. This has resulted in my partial paralysis that has confined me to a wheelchair. On March 22, 2021, I received my second shot of the COVID-19 vaccine supplied by Pfizer. Shortly after, I became sick for a few days as expected. A few weeks later, I got sick again and was so ill I was out for 2 weeks. Medical staff were unable to determine what I had caught. I developed ringing in my ears, which I still have. After I started to develop medical problems where muscles would inflame along with severe restless leg syndrome, which sent me screaming from pain in the dead of sleep. I went to physical therapists and Navy doctors alike to no avail to stop it. Shortly preceding, my knees started to give out and I still need to pop them to terminate the pain. I also experienced the development of digestive problems like IBS and joints that would become so painful that I would cry from the pain in my hips and feet just from standing for 30 minutes. All these symptoms developed in 2 months with no explanation. Eventually, they would level out as I was put into a command to focus on medical problems. By May, I started losing vision in my right eye and slight vision in my left. This was accompanied by pain in my vision going from 20/20 in my right eye to 20/25 and 20/17 in my left eye to 20/20. They assumed I had optic neuritis in my right eye, but were wrong and still do not know why the pressure was off in my eye. On July 2nd, I experienced my first painful set of convulsions. They started small, but grew as the days went on. On July the 5th, I was sent to the ER as I was no longer functional and the feeling of electricity going through my body would not stop. I went into the ER walking, and on July the 8th, I came out in a wheelchair as I slowly lost my ability to walk as the days went by and the spasms kept happening. They never did figure out what was wrong with me. I only knew my copper was high, my white blood cells were high, and my inflammation levels were very high with no explanation. My current symptoms have been trouble breathing, joint pain, migraines, unknown convulsions, vision loss, unsteady gait, vomiting, nausea, mouth ulcers, frequent heavy nosebleeds, tremors, slurred speech, heat aversion, and lack of motor coordination. I am now reliant on a wheelchair and now await separation from the military. I have been told there is no other explanation other than a reaction from within my body due to the vaccine. Let me repeat that. I have been told there is no other explanation other than a reaction from within my body due to the vaccine. Respectfully submitted, Mary Constance Siebert. Mr. Speaker, I stand for freedom and liberty and against vaccine mandates because in America, Americans should have the freedom to choose which of 2 bad COVID-19 options is best for them, vaccination or not vaccination. And I stand against dictatorial government vaccine mandates because mandates are the antithesis of the liberty and freedom on which America is based. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.